players?
They're very young. They've got that guy down there, man. That guy's a good coach, Philly Jones. And Coach Jones, a little trivial fact, his nephew was my roommate when I was coaching at East Tennessee. And he's a guy that, and Chad, his nephew, was a quarterback there at East Tennessee State University. And Phil being his uncle, and was a coach with Coach Don at Georgia, and he was at SMU last year, and he was a Gardner Webb actually last year, and was at SMU the year before. Been around some big time football and top football players. Was a great high school coach in the state of Georgia for years and years. A great recruiter, as you can tell. He's got 110 kids on his squad the first year. I mean, just doing a great job. So it's scary with the knowledge they have and the offense they're running that we really got to be on top of our game.
Like we've got another call. You're on the Bear Facts.
Yes. What's your biggest goal for this year, Coach?
Right now it's to win Saturday. We went in with the philosophy that we really have ideas and goals in the back of our mind, and we were talking about the motivations we have, but we always say, we break sometimes just to 1-0 because we want to focus on the game we're at hand, and if we get that win, then that can put us at the next spot that we want to be. Now, what we all want and the things in the back of our heads is, like I say, is the motivation to get those playoffs. So, but again, our biggest goal right now is just to win the next game that's on our schedule, and that's shorter this Saturday.
Well, good luck and good season.
I thank you. I appreciate it.
And shorter. People don't realize, but the program's got a lot of money behind it. I've seen them on film, seen their new stadium and everything.
Yeah.
For a first-year program, they got some great
They
facilities.
have really sold out on that deal. Now, I was interested or anxious to. Well, I don't know if I was anxious. I was hoping that they would go through some of the same growing pains that a first-year program does, and they have a little bit, but not to the extent that most schools do. They. Like I say, I'll tell you this. I turned the film on about 4 weeks ago when we were playing somebody, and the film was shot far away. We have two shots. We have an end zone shot, and we can see tight what's going on in the box, and a wide shot, so we can see all the secondary and the wideouts and what's going on. And it was shot kind of far away because it's a big stadium there, and you couldn't see down real close what the kids looked like physically or anything. And I was telling Coach, y'all need to call and find out about this tape and see if this is them. This can't be a first-year program. I said, and I actually thought it was Georgia Southern, who's won several national championships down in Georgia in Division I ball, 1AA. And just watching them early in the year run that offense, and as smooth as they were, and the kids, the way they were coming off the ball, and their skills, and it looked like they've done the same thing over and over for a long time. And I actually sat there and I kept saying, you need to call and make sure this is them. This just looks too good to be a team that's first-year program. And so that's how good they are. They're deceptive, and you watch them on tape to realize that they've only been around for that short amount of time.
I know that's true, but they played everybody, down to the wire. Well, I think it was a 1-point ball game against the Cumberlands here, 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, I tell you, it's a thing that you better be ready to play. So I'm hoping that we're ready to play. You can't go out and mess around with it.
All right, we got one more here. You're on the Bear Facts.
Yeah, Coach, and Friday, this Ken Hall. How you guys doing?
Doing good.
Who is this?
Coach, I appreciate a very entertaining game Friday night. You always make them interesting.
You're welcome. I think about that a lot, too. I'm thinking how entertaining the games have been this year.
They are. I missed the first few minutes. I don't know if you talked about this, but give us an injury update, especially about Antoine and Jamerson.
Yeah, we're trying to get them as healed as we can, trying to do what's best for the kid and the team, or both kids, or all kids. We've got several of them. Our quarterback is really my biggest scare right now as far as a question mark Saturday. I hope that he gets where he needs to physically. He's got an unusual injury there in his throwing arm. And Antoine, who knows Antoine? He's so tough that he could lose a limb and just and still want to get in there and be back the next day. So it's one of those things that we got to make sure that we're on top of what's going on there, so he don't push himself too much. Because he really, I was telling him earlier, a normal guy, we would probably have already set him the last couple of weeks, but he's just one of those guys that wants to play, and he's so resilient that we're just making sure we're doing what's best for his health in the long run and for us in the long run if we get back and able to get in the playoffs. Nick Jamerson, again, I wish he could get fully recovered because he's so potent, but I tell you what, he's pretty good at any percentage, and we're just hoping that we're going to try to get him in the best situation as we can Saturday and move him around, try to put him in situations where he can be the most efficient for us and himself, and just hoping those guys get back, along with several other kids. We got to get Josh Hunley right, and a couple other guys that are dinged up here and there, but Ryan Hayes, we'd like to get back healthy, and we can go on down the list, but we're hoping that those guys are close to 100% as they can be by Saturday.
Okay. Well, I'd like to wish you good luck Saturday and the following Saturday, that first round of the playoffs.
I appreciate it.
I feel good about your chances of being there.
I really do too. If we can go out and handle our business and make sure we do the right thing Saturday and not put ourselves in a bad situation, then we definitely have a great opportunity. I think the same way.
And Charlie, it's good to have you back. We really missed you last week.
Well, I'm glad to be back, Ken.
All right, you guys have a good one.
Thanks. But, you know, again, just a great season we've had this year. You know, we're three points away from that undefeated, and I know it's a tough one. You know, a call here and there. We don't make a mistake here and there.
Yeah,
You know,
and miss assignments. You know, we just that's part of the game. You know, ball bouncing the wrong way, bad call, whatever they want to call bad, or just a missed call. You know, but that's all football, and we just the ball to have one of those. We've had a very, very good year. To have one of those great years and the special years, you got to have a lot of good things happen for you, and we've had a lot of good things happen for us. But in a couple of games, you're going to fight. In this league, you're going to lose one sometimes you're not supposed to, and you're going to win one you're not supposed to. But we just got in a situation where we've won the ones that might have snuck up on us, and we just weren't able enough to come through on a couple that we'd like to get at least one of them with, and that's the game. But if we can win this one, just hopefully we'll go out like we need to as far as getting this win and playing like we should, and that's nothing to be ashamed of or cry over, and it's going to great, again, it puts us in that where we hold our own destiny situation, and it's a great opportunity if we win this one to have some great accomplishments out of this season, so that would be good.
And I know ultimately the goal was to win the conference, and it's a great goal to set. It would have been a great achievement. But the big achievement is to get into the playoffs.
Yeah, well, that's again, both are history makers, and you still have that one history maker on your schedule or opportunity to get. And that's the thing, again, all these kids, like I say, not a lot of times in your life you have an opportunity to make history, and this is the one we can make school history there, and it's something very big goal to be proud of.
I think so, and kids. The kids, I believe, at this point in last week in that second half, you came in and you got the news of that Cumberland's defeat at halftime, and they really came back out and gave you a lot more effort during the second half.
It really did, and we were looking for something there to you're looking for that one we were talking about earlier, that halftime deal, to what string you got to pull, what button you got to push to get that team out of them that they are. And that was a big plus, and I think Coach Silas had come by and was going to, say some things. And I was like, hey, hold on, because he had heard that they had won. He said, they won. And he was moving on and said, hey, hold on to that information till we get in there. And it was something that, we're going through a few things that we need to talk about there. And then when that subject came up, all eyes came up, and it was, the thought process to them was, hey, what's that do for us? What's that mean to us? And apparently, they figured it out, and we discussed it, and went out and they did what they needed to give themselves, again, keep themselves alive, and that's what these kids are. They're survivors, and bless their hearts, they really, I just want to see good things happen for them because they're deserving. They're so deserving, and we talked about that. You've deserved everything you've gotten right now. Make sure that you deserve it after Saturday, meaning go out and still be in that situation. Don't go out there and put yourself in a bad situation where you didn't earn the opportunity we have in front of us.
We put ourselves in some situations all season long playing good enough to win.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that, though. I'll take it.
I just want you on those things. What's going to happen if we just say if they decided last week that they can really play and they show up and play a full ball game?
Yeah, we got to.
Then we got some serious things to look at down the road.
Yeah, and the one thing, the factor that everybody misses. We've had a pretty good football team, but not only that, we've been on paper really good, meaning we've been up to top 5 in the country, and everybody that rolls in here wants to beat a top 10 team.
Oh, yeah.
And everybody that rolls in here wants to beat us so badly they can taste it. So every week you're getting the very best of everything that you can get, and people say, well, you're slow starters. Well, those other teams are pretty fast starters because they are playing with a lot of emotion, and our kids are staying even keel. So sometimes that even keel comes over at the end. Saturday, I'll give you an example. They were so high and hot and hopped up on emotion wise that my whole goal was, hey, if we're in there at the game at halftime, this is going to turn because our kids will continue to play at the level they're capable to play at, and emotion will only take you so far. So once you punch some holes in that emotion and you get a little momentum on your side, there's a lot of factors people don't recognize. Same thing Saturday. Hey, they want to knock us out of the playoffs, and they got something to prove, and we're a top 15 team, and we're a team that has been top 5, and they got a lot that they can get out of that. So all these teams that are playing against us are trying to get something out of beating Pikeville College. So every time they come in, we're catching the very best of what that team has to offer for a lot of different reasons. And you know, it excites me. It excites me when a guy just can't handle his cool after beating Carson. I'm falling back to my old days there.